Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jonathan. Jonathan is from San Diego in California in the USA. So let's see what Jonathan has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Aloha. How are you?
Hello, Jonathan. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
Good, William. Good to see you.
Good to
How are
see
you?
Very good. Yeah, here in London, it's already evening, so it's been a great day.
All right. Sounds good. It's what, 8 o'clock or so their time, or your time there?
7:30 in the evening.
7:30. Got it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So tell me, how's your morning going so far?
Pretty good so far. So just
Yeah.
got some projects done and been checking emails. So
Tell me where you're from, Jonathan.
San Diego.
Born and
Yeah.
raised?
California. Yeah, San Diego, California. Born and raised. Yeah, I've lived all over the place in the United States here through most of my adulthood. But yeah, I'm back in San Diego now.
I see. And
yeah.
what was the best part of growing up in San Diego, in your opinion?
Especially like coming back and everything. I mean, you're really spoiled. It's been like we've been complaining lately a little bit. It's been raining for a couple of weeks actually, which happens sometimes, but it's nothing to complain about. It's been like maybe 50s, I guess 40s at night, and then I don't know. It's been pretty decent the rest of the time. So like today it's sunny and it's probably going to be 60, 70 degrees out. So it's the middle of winter. So
And what do you do for a living, Jonathan?
I'm kind of an adventure guide most of the time. So and then I travel and do like different projects here and there. I've been working with a few festivals basically and doing some like art production / helping out with those and making a way there. And then I've been doing some of my own artwork and stuff on the side, and it's easy to sell even on the streets out here where we hang out, stuff over in OB. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So and then I kayak during the summer and do that for most of the summer.
I see. So you're an artist. You create some art.
Yeah, sometimes.
I see. Okay, so before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would you like you to tell me something interesting about yourself?
All right. Let's see. Something interesting about myself. Let's see. I do the whole van life thing, if that's interesting. So I spend most of my time in an ambulance. So, and like I said, I travel doing the kayaking a lot and the adventure guide stuff. So it just worked out. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you spent some time in kayak. What do you mean the ambulance? I was a bit confused.
Yeah. So I van life. I live in a van.
Oh, I
travel and live in a van. So, but I do it as like a travel and adventure guide. So.
Now I understand. So you live in a van. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. My goodness. So that's why
it's a mess right now, but
wow. And how long have you been living a van for, traveling?
Let's see. I've been traveling. I've been through a couple of rigs, but I've been traveling for about 6 years now, I think. So, yeah.
Wow. I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell, a lot.
Yeah, it's been all over the place, so it's fun.
Jonathan, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend, okay? From the fun questions, I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a little bit before the first question. Okay, let's do it.
Right on.
Jonathan, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
All right.
First question for you is, what do you like the most about yourself?
Probably that I'm spontaneous and make the best of any situation. So.
And you always being this way?
No, and sometimes I'm not always that way.
And so people, they recognize that on you, being spontaneous.
Oh, definitely. Probably sometimes too much so.
Which way you mean?
Oh, just that I live a less than usual life, traveling and doing what I do, and my pursuits in life are different than the streamlined expected life, and so but I'm happy doing it, and I make a living doing it, and it's enjoyable. So
amazing. Next question, let's do it, Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan, next question for you is, if you could be an animal, yeah, which one that would be and why?
I don't know, probably like a whale of some sort, one of the northern ones that can go a little bit deeper sometimes and into the cold. And why? Because I like exploring, and the ocean's unexplored, and it'd be great to go check it out. So.
Good one. When I was checking your profile, Jonathan, I could see that you are vegan, yeah?
Yeah.
So tell me, how long have you been vegan for, and why the reason you became vegan? Something connect with your health or just a lifestyle?
I became vegan because of kind of for doing what I could about animal treatment. So, and the way that animals are treated. And so, and that means a lot to me now, as a value even, but there's definitely health benefits if you do it right. So it can be dangerous to do too, if you don't plan, but, and then how long have I been vegan? Man, I think it's been 7 years or so now. So, oh, wow. And then I was pretty much majority vegetarian minus like a couple off meals for almost 6 years before that too. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it's an interesting process. And again, yeah, you can do it healthy and you can do it unhealthy. So
the thing nowadays, being vegan, it became very popular.
Yeah, I definitely think it's become more popular, which is fine. I don't mind. I mean, it'd be great if it became a trend, and people stuck to it. That'd be rad if it became a lifestyle of many people. But yeah.
Yeah, I think nowadays people, it became very, very popular everywhere. There are restaurants, vegan restaurants. There are so many places that, nowadays you see so many people talking about and, exposing and talking and encouraging people to become vegan. That never before.
Yeah. You're over in the UK, right?
Yes, I'm in London, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's it's starting to catch on. It depends on where you are over here in America. So, but definitely certain areas have a lot more vegan concentrations than other. But yeah, but it is hard to come by sometimes over here at restaurants. I would encourage the restaurants over here to start at least looking into it. They lose a lot of clients that way.
Absolutely. Next question, Jonathan. Let's do it. So before the next question, tell me a little bit about your art.
So I'm working on a project centered around kelp right now, and I just kind of do different art mediums and mess with it, and then I'll sell stuff. So like this summer, I just had a bunch of time on my hands, and I had to be able to carry stuff around, and I wanted to practice my graffiti marker art more. And so I got some pots and from Michael's art store, and just got some clay pots and just started like doodling on them whenever I was hanging out with friends or chilling, or on the beach watching kayaks, on a slow day. And so yeah, I would just do those, and then I'd sell them, just again hanging out on the beach, usually where I'd be at anyway, just hanging out with my dogs after being done working or whatever. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. And then I've done like art builds and stuff, like I've said. I do carpentry. So, but right now I'm working on a cool project that involves kelp, and it's not top secret because I'm about to be putting stuff out there, but yeah, I'm starting to collect kelp that has washed up on the shorelines here in San Diego, and I'm going to be making jewelry out of it, or art jewelry out of it. So, and trying to give back and draw attention to kelp, the need to be aware of the kelp beds and everything. So, yes.
And people watch the interview now, if they are interested to, to see your art, or to, to buy your art, what they're going to expect? What is something special about your art? What's something that you provide through your art?
So I would say that I do like art builds, so like sets and like big displays for like events and things like that, as well as van build outs, like the one that I have in here. And then on the other side of it, I do, I'm going to be producing jewelry now, which is available. And then, yeah, and then my background's in graphic and web design, which I still do for people that I get along with. So.
All right. Next question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Almost many things on both sides of that. So, so anything from a good movie to just heavy emotions being shared can make me cry, especially like with friends or anything like that. Yeah, and then just let's see, easy things can make me happy, like good comedy, but just simple things in life too can make me really happy. So just walking around with friends and just watching life happen is just a fun thing to enjoy and have good conversation with people. So yeah,
very good. Sharing memories.
Yeah.
That's what makes life exciting and happy, when you're sharing memories with people around you. That's the best part.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. Next one, let's do it. Next question for you is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
I don't know. Nothing big. I mean, I'd love to help big change happen in life, but it doesn't have to revolve around me, and I don't even have to be known for it. But as for like people that did know me, I would just hope that they remember just having good times and sharing good memories, and hope that they have good things to say about me and not negative things to say about me. That's pretty much it. And so I think that's an accomplishment if that's it. So
I think that, Jonathan, what the meaning of life for you?
What is the meaning of life for me? Let's see. 42. No, just joking. It's from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The meaning of life to me is just is growing and developing in like awareness, not just success. Success is a completely different thing than awareness. And so, and the more awareness you have, the more you measure success differently too. And so, I think that the meaning of life is just always working on that part, and enjoying doing it too. I mean, the more that you are aware of the life around you and others around you and the people and the energy around you and everything, the more the better person you should be becoming. I mean, most of the time it depends on how your heart's going into it, I guess. So, but yeah, so and enjoying it.
Like that. Very good. Ready for another question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one, Jonathan. But before the next question, tell me how you start the idea of living a van. Tell me about the adventure, how everything started.
Oh, how everything started. Let's see. So I worked in the corporate world it started in graphic design. Then I worked with startups for a long time, 6 years there. Then I did cultural development for companies in the Midwest. I did that for about 5 years out there in the Midwest area. And it was an interesting role, an interesting gig. I was practicing my own, a system that had been created in Vegas, as well as been practiced, and we'd been using it in the Arizona area a little bit, and just adding to that and just delivering that to companies, and it was proving success. But it was a lot of energy shared where it wasn't being appreciated, and so I had exited that. And I went back to bartending. So from cultural development to bartending. And honestly, I was really enjoying bartending. I was enjoying the time and the hours. I consider myself a pretty decent bartender. Usually have at least the energy for it. And then the personality, and I made good tips and everything. And it allowed me to work the preferred shifts in the weekends. And then I didn't have to work as much during the day or during the weekdays, even at certain places. And then I even got like club gigs and other gigs. And so I just traveled a lot for like a year and a half, and I was paying for a house. And I was like, this is dumb. And then I did the math on it, and I guesstimated that I had stayed in my house for almost a year paying for it. And I was there only up till like 42 to 48 nights.
Wow.
That year. And I was like, all right, well, I'm done. And so I started yard sailing everything that I had collected in 6 years, which I've always had a pretty like minimal life, but I collected a lot of stuff out there. And so I started selling it and looking for a trailer or a coach of some sort that I could work on and pull with my car at the time, that I could also offload. And the goal was to start traveling and probably going back to bartending as a traveling bartender, as well as looking back into getting into the kayak stuff, which I used to do as a kid. And so, yeah, so I kind of started doing that. And within a year or within a few months, even, I had found a campsite, just out of town, and summer was hitting, and I started bartending and full-time living out at the campsite, and working on this awesome, they're called old Apache campers. They're like hard side pop-up campers. They're really rad. But you can winterize them and make them all season, and it's pretty cool. And so I started that way. Went through 2 of those and renovated them and sold them. And then borrowed one while I was working as a zipline guide. And this is right during the pandemic kicking in. Um, and then was looking for a van that summer, and had been driving by this cool ambulance all summer long and got it. So that's how I
Wow.
ended up in it. So
Wow. And during this journey, have you been going to different states in the US?
oh yeah, so I started in the Midwest, in Green Bay area, and then I went to Door County, which is just right north of there, but that's where I started doing the adventure guiding stuff again. And then I went down to Chicago area and was a kayak guide in Chicago, which I still would return to that place. I love them over there. And Chicago's kind of like a second home for me now. And so I'd probably I went over there, and that was a cool gig through kayaking through the city. The river's sort of dirty, but they're working on it. And telling architecture tours. So normally I'm out in the wilderness somewhere, and here I am in the middle of one of the biggest cities in the US. Yeah. And then I made my way from there back to San Diego. That was like a month and a half long journey. Kind of went south down through the rest of the Midwest, met up with family in Missouri, and then made it over, went to the Grand Canyon area, saw a lot of that, which I've been there. I've been cross country 13 times now. So, or 14 times now.
Oh,
wait,
my God.
Oh, 15 times now. I've been twice ever since. I've been twice ever since I've been back in San Diego. Damn. That's crazy. So yeah, so we made it back, going all the way through all of that, and then back to San Diego. And then I was in San Diego for a year and a half here. And then I went out to Hawaii for a couple months, and now back to San Diego, and finished building out the rig. I'm actually doing solar today and finishing that out today. And then it'll be ready to hit the road, and I should be traveling hopefully all through like Zion and the Grand Canyon area, and hopefully a lot more within the next few months. So
wow.
Excited. Yeah.
Very excited. My goodness. Wow. Very adventurous. Right. Next question for you is, what is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal. So it changes sometimes, different stages in life. Currently, it is very deeply the buffalo. So,
tell me why.
It is teaching me to be a better listener and slow down with not life necessarily, but maybe the way I task it or pace myself in it, and pay attention to things that matter to me more personally, which are relationships and friendships, and like very deep into those. And that's kind of where I'm learning right now. And so, which is crazy because I just went from a winged creature, and and it was very like solo. It was very solo and almost adventure, like focus on this, and so teaching me to focus on my own journey, and my own healing and my own trauma. And yeah, and now it's definitely the buffalo, which has just kind of changed over the course of, it's probably been a couple of years now. So, but yeah, it's been a journey getting there.
Amazing. Right, I have 3 questions left for you, Jonathan. Let's do it. Next question for you is, tell us about your guilt pleasure.
My what?
Guilt pleasure.
Guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Seems to be chocolate. Um, so I don't know. People say it's hard to eat vegan, but it's sometimes really easy. You can make a lot of sweets that are actually really healthy, and so that happens. And yeah, but chocolate's kind of my guilty pleasure, honestly. So,
Are you more of sweet or a savory person?
I love cooking food. I love it. I love making more savory type stuff, usually. Um, but I can get a sweet tooth sometimes.
And what do you
So,
like to cook the most?
what do I like? What?
To cook the most?
Oh, what do I like cooking the most? Hmm. Honestly, I'm gonna give you a two-part answer here. So I like cooking the most, usually like Mexican food, or something like that, and vegan style. So, and there's a whole variety. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that I can do, with that. My specialty item would be quinoa stuffed peppers, so bell peppers. So those are pretty good. But I'm getting into some mushroom cooking right now too, so that's fun. But um, I also love making smoothies, and I make a whole bunch of different ones. And I'm finally starting a recipe book. Most of the time, it's just off the top of my head, and
Wow.
I'd say 80% of them hit, and sometimes you're like, oh, that one didn't work so well.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And mainly, do you kind of adventure yourself creating different recipes, or you just follow some recipes already done?
No, being like on the vegan diet, and then having a very active lifestyle, I have to eat certain types of food. I'm almost 80% fruitarian, and have been for a year and a half. Which means I eat mostly fruit, and like that's not just fruit; it includes hemp and certain grains, no starches usually, and things like that. Um, but that was more of a health reason. I just felt a lot healthier without less gunk. But because of that, there's like varieties of things that I include in my diet daily that kind of go into that smoothie, from seaweed, and spirulina and stuff, beet powders, mushroom powders, cacao, uh, certain amounts of like hemp seed and stuff like that because of the proteins and things like that. And so, yeah, so those all kind of go in there. But because of that, it's like, I mean, there's so many different kinds of fruits, and living in a fruit area, where that's a fruit mecca. I mean, you could get so many different things, and I just kind of whatever's on the shelf, I'm like, this might be good together, you know. So
I'm I'm
yeah, how it
originally
works.
I'm originally from Brazil, and I grew up. My mom creating this smoothie with avocado and banana. It was the best. Oh my god, the best! I remember now. She was just like some milk, some avocado, banana. Sometimes she used to put some apple, but mainly was just avocado and banana in the morning. It was the
All right,
best.
so here's your cheat. Ready? Get some bananas, let them ripen. Start spotting. All right. So you get them spotting like that, and then you peel them all, and then you put them in a bag and freeze them, and
Oh,
then you put them in a blender, in a smoothie blender, and you put just like a splash of milk in there or something like that, of your favorite plant-based milk there. And you blend it, and then just keep adding it to where it's just thick enough to where it's barely blending, and then add some cacao in there.
ooh.
Yeah, and then some agave nectar, or dates, even if you want. And then you can have some banana ice cream there. So you can have just banana ice cream without the cacao, but also you can add the cacao and make a chocolate banana. But that
Wow.
stuff is, talking about guilty pleasure. I will eat. I go through probably like 2 dozen bananas a week at least. So
Wow.
yeah. I love them.
I eat one banana every single day. Like in the morning, the first thing I eat is like empty stomach, I have some water, and I have one banana. I've
Yeah.
been having this routine for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, it's so good for you. Banana, mango,
Yeah.
usually blood oranges if I can find them, but like some sort of like nectarine or something like that. And then berries are always just like a main part of the diet. So it's really good. It's like I eat candy all day. That's how I feel. People are like, "How do you eat vegan?" I'm like, I feel spoiled sometimes. I don't know.
2 questions left for you. Let's do
All
it.
right, all right.
Before the next question, Jonathan, when I was checking your profile, I could see that you're a very spiritual person, yeah? So you always been this way?
Yes and no. So I was raised in a non-denominational Christian household. So but early on I claimed my own faith or spirituality, whichever way you want to look at it, as my own. And I always said that, and that was just because like I had this connection to an energy, and it was my guide at an early age. And the way that I live in a van and like don't work normal jobs and live the life I do started at a young age, I realized. But it just kind of so I had my own journey and my own relationship with a spiritual like upper presence there. And then I don't know, I went through a lot in my early adulthood, and so in my later 20s I was meeting different people and doing a lot of work with indigenous groups, which I've done in the past, but it was in a different way. And going back to a lot of my roots and everything, and then studying a lot of my Hawaiian heritage and the religions and everything behind it. And by this point, I already had challenged my upbringing enough to understand like there's more to this. And so but my spirituality was still based in that. So, and it's been hard to heal the wounds that I gathered from that life as well. But in healing those, even in recent time, over even the past few months, even in healing those wounds that I have from being raised in that world, I realized that like this spiritual being, this prophet that I've spoken to, is an existing person. You know, like Jesus is an existing prophet, but so is Muhammad and Buddha. And these are all people that have good energy, that had good things to say to us. And we all have good things to say to ourselves, especially. And so, yeah, I think, I think I've always been spiritual in that way, to where that I've always been connected to a higher power. I definitely believe that there is creator. There's no gendered role or anything attached to that. That's just there is a there's creator, and not a creator. There's just creator. There's creation. So, and we are all creators as well. And so it's just a matter of, you know, find your own path to that good place of your own spirit. So, and that's where I try to go.
Amazing. Very good.
Yeah.
Next question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live and why?
So I can only claim places that I've been, unfortunately. There's many places I want to visit still, and those might take over someday. But as of now, and it's stood up against a lot of pretty impressive places, definitely like the Kona Coast in Hawaii. So.
And why?
It is the home of my ancestors. It is a very spiritual energy place. Pele is present there. Namakea is present there. And just those energies of the fire, of the lava and the water. And it's just, it has a lot of meaning to me, and it's absolutely beautiful and everything as well too. And there's a lot that I desire to relearn and from our culture, or from my culture and everything too. And so being submersed into it, in a place where I already have a lot of contacts and cousins and everything. So yeah.
All right. Ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. Okay, but before the last question, if you could share through your adventures traveling in a van around the US, can you share like a situation that happened to you that was maybe scary or challenge, something that you're never gonna forget?
I don't know. Stuff happens on the road all the time. Not like, I don't know. I've never been like threatened or anything like that, though things like that can happen. Not anything too crazy. But I guess like situationally, the vehicle, like vehicles can act up and stuff like that. So we were driving through the Grand Canyon. This whole journey from Missouri to San Diego was like many journeys, honestly. I've driven cross country twice with my mom. Twice? 2 or 3 times. I can't remember now. Anyway, but this one was just like this past year, or last year, 2 years ago now. 2 Novembers ago. Anyway, but we were coming through, and we already had headwinds through Texas at like 45 miles per hour. So we're going 35 miles per hour, which means, you know, we're trying to push 70, but, you know, only going an actual 35. But so we had that. We ran out of gas at like 400 miles short of where we should have. Luckily, I was like, we should stop anyway. And we were rolling up on a gas station. So that happened. But the most memorable part of this journey was we're at the Grand Canyon, and it's a beautiful day going in there. But we had storms that just rolled through there. We watched them the night before, just light rainfall. And so we're going up there, and we get to the gate, and there's obviously snow in the Grand Canyon. And we're like, wow, this is beautiful. This is amazing. And the lady's like, hey, it looks like you have an RV. And we're like, yeah, we're driving this ambulance thing. And I had a car that I was towing behind it. And they're like, all right, well, here's a map of the safe RV places, and there will be a sign in front of each entrance that says you can or can't go down it if you're an RV. And we're like, all right, cool, sounds good. And she was very specific, seemed very safe, right? First 2 stops were beautiful, plenty of space, it was amazing, beautiful views, obviously. Grand Canyons, you can never get enough of it. And so those are fine. And then we keep going, and we pull into this other one, and it's a long road, and it's pretty snowy already. It's flat though. And we're like, all right, this one obviously is a little bit more questionable. And we keep going, and all of a sudden it just starts dropping, like it goes downhill. And then there's a parking lot at the end of the downhill that like makes a U-turn. And then like just has this tiny little like 9-inch curb, and then like a 300-foot drop over the edge of it into the Grand Canyon. And you have to like turn, and I'm pretty sure a 24-foot vehicle could not even make this turn if it wanted to. And luckily we're not 24 feet, but like I'm loaded up with me and a car, and this thing just starts like sliding basically, and like we're on ice, and they said this was all safe, and we're like, this is not safe for an RV. Like if that was an RV, that would have been horrible. And so we start coming down into this, and I noticed right away, and we probably have like half a football field or so to go there. And so we're going, and it's like you have this, just there's like a nice car, like a Charger or something like that, right on the first row. And I just start braking, and I'm like, okay, we slide if I brake, but I can turn if we're not braking, or if we're, so like I had to brake, turn, and we missed those cars, and we're still sliding. And then here comes the edge of the Grand Canyon. And then at the edge of the Grand Canyon, where we're like facing now, we're like plowing into it, like as we're sliding sideways, the slope of the parking lot's like this, we're driving across like this. and then it turns up like this and still slants towards the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
And so we're like, oh, and I'm brake turn, like barely squeeze through this thing. And then there's this like huge, like arched parking lot basically that it has like slopes on both sides that there's no actual road through or anything. It's just a parking lot. And like nobody's up there luckily, except for one other RV that's like sliding sideways, honestly, trying to figure out their stuff too. And so like we like have the momentum and we just drive off, but we're like sliding sideways while trying to make it to like the exit that you can see is clear up on the edge.
Wow.
And so it was, I was like, and then the rest of the way out of there was all like black ice, and it was like 16, I think it's like 12 miles, I think, through the rest of it. So we were still at the very beginning almost. So yeah, that was interesting.
I'm sure your mom was very scared.
Yeah, probably. So
Last
had a lot of close ones like that.
Last question for you is, what makes you most proud?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing people stand up for what's right, especially when it needs to be happening, makes me proud. So, and I love watching it in the masses, but even in little moments too, like that, like one moment when somebody's a prick somewhere and then the other person's like, hey, don't be that. And it's like, cool. So.
Okay, very good. Right,
Yeah.
so it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. One word for family.
I don't know. I saw a birthday hat.
Again?
A birthday hat.
Okay. Money.
Just a dollar bill.
Okay. One word for love.
A heart.
Okay. Life.
The little spinning wheel on the game of life.
Okay. How about sex?
My partner.
Okay. Politics.
The red and the red and blue lights on a police car.
One word for religion.
One word for religion. Were we doing words the whole time? I just see a cross.
Okay. Friendship.
Just lots of hearts.
Fear.
Darkness.
Okay. Desire.
Darkness as well.
Regrets.
I don't know. I feel like sorrow.
Okay. One word for success.
I think joy.
Okay. How about wish? One word.
Wish.
Yep.
Like dreams, stars.
Happiness.
Joy, cheer.
Okay. One word for San Diego.
Rad.
One word for USA.
Troubled.
And the last one now, artist. One word.
Progressive.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your partner, what is the most beautiful thing about Jonathan, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your partner would say?
Probably say that I am attentive and listen well. And she'd probably also say that I needed to, how do I say it? That I needed to process and direct emotions better. There we go. That's probably a good way of saying it.
Very good one. Very good. Let's play now, Jonathan and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. You can ask me a question now, Jonathan.
All right. So, in what way do you enhance the lives of others around you?
Right. I think what people around me they spot the most is I always have a way of connecting with people, and also they feel safe, or they feel somehow they feel that they can open up or talk to me about anything, that they're not gonna feel any judgmental way. So even people who I don't know very well, or people who I just met, for some reason they came up to me and they literally open up things that maybe, you know, sometimes even for me, I feel like, oh my God, you are sharing something so personal. And sometimes I feel like, my goodness, am I don't know how to kind of direct to that, because it's something that's maybe for me, or maybe it's, I don't know the person so well, but I always had this way of people open up to me about things that maybe they don't talk with their best friends, or they don't feel comfortable talking to other people or member of their family, but for some reason they feel safe, or they feel you know, they can open up to me. They always, so I have so many situations in my life that's people and close friends as well, you know, they talk to me about things that they always told me that they never talk about that with anybody else, and they just feel safe somehow talking to me about different topics. And that's something that I've been let's see, through my life, I've been kind of realizing that people, they, for some reason, they feel safe talking to me about things that maybe they wouldn't feel comfortable, or maybe feel safe to talk to anybody else around them for some reason.
Okay, cool. That's good. Thanks, William.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for taking the time for you know, are very busy, and you took the time for the interview. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Something that has gotten me by with everything is just being myself. And when anybody has something too negative or can't be a part of that, just remember that you can only change yourself and you can't change them. So, and that includes in like forgiving process and everything as well too. So just as a whole, is like, you can do your work and just let the other person be. So
I see. Very good. Thanks so much for the interview, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, Jonathan. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Aloha. Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.